Hello everyone, this is the second part of the mnemonics on the names of ores. In this video, we will again discuss the mnemonics for the names of around 20 ores. Let us now move to the ores of sodium. The first one here is chili saltpeter, which is a nitrate of sodium. Then we have trona, which is carbonate and bicarbonate of sodium. Then we have borax, which is basically an oxide. Then we have common salt, which we all know is sodium chloride. Then we have globus salt, which is a sulfate with 10 molecules of water. And finally, we have thenardite, which is also a sulfate without those 10 molecules of water. Now, let us try to remember them. As earlier, we will put all the names of ores in the green boxes. Now in the orange boxes, we'll write those words which most closely resemble the corresponding words in green boxes. For chili saltpeter, I remember the country Chile. For rock salt or common salt, I will remember rock concert. Rock is a form of music. For globus, the word that comes to my mind is global. For borax, boring. For thenardite, then ardent. Here ardent might be a new word for some of you. Ardent means a strong and passionate. And finally for trona, it sounds to me like throna. Let us now try to create a story around these words which we have used for association. So the story is Sodi, a boy, he does not like the Chilean rock concert anymore. And this is about this special band from Chile, which is known for rock concert, and it has become global. People all over the world are liking it. But unfortunately, Sodi finds it boring. It is not long ago that he followed rock with passion. He was then an ardent follower of the rock music. But now he will throw anything which is remotely connected with the rock music. He does not like to listen to it at all. So you can read here. Sodi does not like Chilean rock concert anymore, even though it is global, but Sodi finds it boring. He was then an ardent follower of the rock, but he now throws everything that is rock. So now close your eyes and imagine this situation. A small boy who really loves rock music has suddenly started to find it boring. And then there is a Chilean rock band which is famous all over the world, but this kid finds it boring. So we see his passion for rock music has disappeared. And now he does not like to even listen to the word rock. He throws now anything which is remotely connected with rock. So now that this story is there in our mind, so let us try to recollect the words and the associated ores with them. Chilean reminds us of chili saltpeter. From the rock concert, we take the rock, which reminds us of the rock salt. This rock band has become a global phenomena. The word global reminds us of globus salt. Boring reminds us of borax. This kid was then an ardent follower, then an ardent, then ardent, thenardite, and he throws now throna, which has got anything to do with rock. So now you see, with some imagination and stretching, we could tie up even such abstract words to something which we could remember. So please remember, there are two important aspects here. One is the association, and then seeing this story in your mind's eye. And if you are able to do them, you will be able to recall them without any difficulty. So let's quickly try to remember it once again. Chilean was chili salt pepper. Rock was the rock salt. Global reminded us of globus salt. Boring was borax. Then an ardent, then ardite, and throws now reminded us of trona. Now let us move to the ores of gold. Calaverite, which is gold and tellurium. Sylvanite, it's again gold with tellurium. Then we have cranerite, which is again gold with tellurium. And finally, we have electrum, which is a natural alloy of gold and silver. So out of these four, three are the compounds with tellurium and two of them had silver. Now, let us try to remember them. Now again, we'll put the names of all the ores in the green boxes. Next step would be to write the words which most closely resemble them in our orange boxes. So for silver knights, the word that comes to my mind is silver knight. So a knight who is made up of silver. And who were knights? They were the fighters who rode horses. And when I say knight, what picture comes to your mind? A man on a horse. So here we have a silver knight. This fighter on a horse, he is made up of silver. He is some kind of a superhero. Then we have calaverite. So calaverite sounds like cavalry right. So I'm trying to find something similar with knight here. So which will make it a bit easier for me to make up a story. So calaverite sounds like cavalry right. And what was the cavalry? Cavalry were the soldiers who fought on horseback. So a knight had his cavalry. So when I hear electrum, word that comes to my mind is electric. And finally, we have cranerite, which sounds like crane is right or crane right. So now, let's try to weave a story. So there is a silver knight, this superhero who is made up of silver. He is a knight on a horse and he has cavalry right. That means there are a huge number of horsemen who are following him. And then he goes forward and he strikes his enemy with his electric sword. So the superhero, the silver knight, even his sword is made up of electric. Because he is butchering people in hundreds, he has a crane by his side to clear all the mess that is being created. So now close your eyes and try to picture this. A silver knight, a knight who is made up of silver, is riding a horse. He has a huge cavalry behind him, lot of horsemen following him. And then this guy has a sword which is made up of electric and he's butchering his enemies left, right and center. And then he has a crane standing by side which is clearing the dead bodies and this knight is moving forward. And to recall that these oars are of gold, let us imagine that the crane is made up of gold. So now let's try to recall. Silver knight, cavalry just right, calaverite, an electric sword, electric, electrum, crane right, cranerite. I'm quite sure here that some of you are already having some words which you think are more relevant than the ones that I have put up here. So go ahead and make your own mnemonics. They are likely to stick more. For others, you can bear with me. Trust me, even these will work. Now, let's move to copper. The first is cuprite, which is an oxide of copper. Then we have chalcocite, which is a sulfide of copper. Then we have chalcopyrite. It is also a sulfide with some iron in it. Let us now first fill the green boxes and try to write down the words in our orange boxes. Chalcolite sounds to me like chocolate. And chalcopyrite sounds to me like choco pie. Cuprite sounds like cup was right. So here is the story. So after a family dinner, I am asked, what would I like to have for dessert? I am really confused as to what I should choose, a chocolate or a choco pie. And both this chocolate and choco pie are put in copper cups. So I am not able to decide which cup was right for me. So now close your eyes. It's a very easy situation to imagine. You are at a family dinner and now you are asked what you would like to have for dessert. And you have two options. Both are kept in copper cups. One is chocolate and the other is choco pie, and you have to decide which cup is right for you. Now that you have imagined it, let us try to recall the names of ores. Chocolate, chalcolite. Choco pie, chalcopyrite. Which cup was right for you? Cuprite. I am very sure you are getting more and more comfortable with it. Let's move to the ores of silver. Pyrargyrite is a sulfide of silver. Chlorargyrite is a chloride. And we have argentite or acanthite, which is sulfide of silver. The difference between them is acanthite is more stable at lower temperatures and argentite at higher temperatures. Their chemical composition is same. Now, let us try to remember them. Again, first step, we'll put down the names of the ores in our green boxes. Here the suffix of first two ores of silver can really help us. So why not use them as well? If you look at the suffix here is GYRIT.
It's gyrite, but for my convenience, I can also pronounce it as gyrite. So I'll break it into two parts. First chlora plus gyrite and pyra plus gyrite. And then for argentite is Argentina and acanthite icanthite. So let's try to make a story here. There is a mother who has two daughters named Chlora and Pyra, and now that they have grown up, she is really worried about their marriage and she wants to find the right guy for them. And then we have a custom in Argentina wherein a loser of a duel has to obey the winner. She is desperate to find the right guy for her daughters Chlora and Pyra. So she says, I can fight, and she goes up to Argentina and she challenges a handsome man for duel. She knows that if she beats him, he will have to marry her daughter Chlora or Pyra. And maybe once she has married one of her daughters, she will do it again.
And now it is very easy to remember that these ores are of silver. We know silver has its symbol as Ag, and Ag stands for Argentum. And we already have Argentina in our story, which should remind us of Argentum, which stands for silver.
Now close your eyes. Think you are that mother. You have two daughters, Chlora and Pyra. You are a good fighter, so you say, I can fight. Now that you have learned that there is a custom in Argentina wherein a duel loser has to obey you, so you go and challenge a very handsome man for a duel. You are sure you will beat him, and then he will have to obey you and you will ask him to marry your daughter. Now that we have this story in our mind, let us try to recollect the names of ores. So the two daughters are Chlora and Pyra, and the suffix was the right guy, gyrite. So we'll have chlora gyrite, which translates to chlorargyrite, and Pyra plus gyrite translates to pyrargyrite. Icanthite was acanthite, and she went to Argentina and the name of the ore was argentite. So with this we can move to potassium. It has two major ores. One is carnallite, which is a chloride with some molecules of water, and niter, which is also called saltpeter, which is a nitrate of potassium. So let's write them down and try to write down the words for association. For carnallite, I think you already remember the word that we used even last time was kernel. And can you tell me what was the name of the ore? Also, close your eyes and try to recall the story associated with it. Again, let me help you. There was a magazine printed using which printer? Epson printer, and it has become a dynamite in market. And why it had become dynamite in market? Because it showed a Pakistani colonel kissing the Indian flag. And what were the names of the ores? Magazine was magnesite, Epson printer was Epsom salt, dynamite was dolomite, kernel was carnallite, and kisses were kisserite. And these were the ores of, remember, magazine reminded us of magnesium as well. So here, carnallite, we have put kernel, and niter, we put nite, and saltpeter, salt and pepper. And the story is, there is a colonel, you can imagine the same strange Pakistani colonel, and he eats only salt and pepper for dinner at night.
And now, to remember that these ores are of potassium, let us imagine that this salt and pepper that this colonel eats is kept in an Asian pot. Asian pot or pot Asian should remind us of potassium.
So the kernel was carnallite, salt and pepper was saltpeter, and nite was niter. Let's move to strontium. Strontianite, which is a carbonate of strontium, and celestine, which is a sulfate of strontium. Again, we'll put down the names of ores in the green boxes. And now we'll try to write down the word which we can associate with it. For celestine, celestial. For strontianite, the word that comes to my mind is strong at night. So here the story is, so you're standing in your balcony and gazing outside in the sky, and you feel that the celestial bodies are very strong. You see a lot of celestial bodies, and that is the only time you can see them. So again, close your eyes. What is the situation? You see a lot of celestial bodies and you are gazing at them and thinking they are very strong at night. Celestial gave us celestine and strong at night gave us strontianite. which is good enough to help us remember these ores are of strontium.
So you see, in less than 15 minutes, we were again able to remember the names of around 20 ores. In our next and the final video on the mnemonics for names of ores, we will take up another 20 ores. See you then.